Bahati tena. Welcome to Kenya's biggest conversation.
Thank you for inviting me.
We call that the hot seat. And now that you've come dressed the part in red,
Spice colors.
this is a very good welcome to you.
Yeah.
Enjoy, make yourself comfortable as we have this political conversation. You've gone into politics. We first saw you when you declared your interests to vie as a member of parliament for Mathare.
Sure.
And then we saw when you came and said that your party, your preferred party, Jubilee, was not giving you the ticket. And then you got the ticket.
Yeah.
And now we are reading that you've been told by the coalition that you're the weaker candidate and so you should drop your bid.
Not the coalition.
Propagandists
Propagandists in the coalition.
in the coalition?
Yes.
Who are those?
That is Sifuna and Shebesh.
Okay.
Not the coalition. They don't speak on behalf of Azimio. They speak on behalf of ODM. I am from Jubilee. As far as I'm concerned, Jubilee cleared me. The president, my party leader, gave me a go-ahead to vie as the Member of Parliament Mathare. I did my branding. I've done my billboards. I've done my banners. I've done my posters. I've started my campaigns. I've invested so much in my campaigns. The president is not that inhuman. So the moment this Sifuna guy, so he had someone mwenye alimuchotea kando, because I believe amechotewa na mtu kando, so that he can sneak in a weaker candidate. He had to bring in propaganda, akaanza kuvaa jacket ya Azimio. No, that is not Azimio speaking. That is not the voice and the will of Baba the Fifth. Yeah.
Bahati, are you aware of a meeting that took place on Monday?
Yes.
In Nairobi with the Azimio top brass, which had been called to discuss
At the Oginga Foundation?
The issue of how to ensure that Azimio parties get a majority in the National Assembly and the Senate
the Azimio
and
Council.
the County Assembly.
Yeah.
So the Azimio Council sat and deliberated these issues.
Sure.
So what happened thereafter? Who was given the mandate, for example, to coordinate the decisions of the Azimio Council in Nairobi?
Let me tell you, that was Honorable Junet. A man I really respect. That is not Sifuna nor Shebesh. But even before, a week ago we were called for a meeting by Team Nairobi, the Jaramogi Oginga Foundation. And everyone was seated there. Fortunately, unfortunately, that was the first time I was ever invited for a Team Nairobi meeting, ever since I was handed over my ticket by the Jubilee Party.
What is Team Nairobi?
Team Nairobi that's how they call themselves. Shebesh na nani. The first time I myself, I call her mom out of respect. Mimi nimelelewa children's home, so anyone mwenye ananishinda napatanga tu namuita mom, because mimi sijalelewa na mama. So nikamwambia mom, if in this meeting it's so clear that Bahati is the most popular candidate. It was so clear. I don't want to mention names of the people that were given the mandate to chair that meeting. It was so clear that Bahati is the leading candidate. And this other guy, the sitting MP, both on ground and on polls, because mi nimeingia late na inaonyesha hizi polls mko nazo, na lead. And I even begged for a copy of the polls to go home with, which I was denied. You understand? Nikakuwa nawambia, if ye ndio wako weak, can you please tell him to step down? And it was said to me very clearly that this guy is a sitting member of parliament. Despite of him being the weaker candidate right now, you are younger in terms of age. That is what I was told. You are younger in terms of age. Alikaniambia uko na miaka mingi, unaweza vai siku ingine. Nikamwambia, but you cannot force the people of Mathare, ule mtu hawataki, because I'm younger and because he's a sitting member of parliament. And this is what before that meeting of the council of the Azimio Council, This is what Shebesh said to me on my face, even. You know, someone I call mom. Aliniambia, I cannot support a youth. Kwa sasa uko na miaka bado, utasupportiwa siku ingine. Tutakupea kazi. And nikamwambia, you know, for me, I did not come here because I wanted a job. I had a job. I'm still an award-winning musician. I'm still on trends. So, the moment tukaacha discussion to the chair, and sorry to mention him, Honorable Gumo, the former member of Parliament Westlands, tuliacha, and my talk with Honorable Gumo was very clear. Tell this guy, if he's not doing well, muongelesheni a step down. And that is where the discussion iliachwa. Nikaitwa meetings zingine 2-3. I sat with the incumbent there very confidently. Na nikamwambia, you know you're not doing well on ground. This guy is not even campaigning because he has promised so much even to my fellow youth. Hadi wanamkimbiza kila saa akiingia Mathare. He has not been going on ground. Unaelewa? From nowhere, juzi, niko ground na campaign in Gay. Mi naona social media. Sifuna saying, Bahati amekubali ku step down and Jubilee has agreed to that. I immediately called my party because I answered to the party. I answered to Jubilee party. I called my party and called, what is happening?
Who did you call?
The first person I called was the party SG. Hadi nikamtumia. Unaelewa. He was on ground campaigning. And the next person that replied on behalf of the SG, akaniambia vizuri, we are not aware of this. This is not us speaking. You understand? Shebesh does not speak on behalf of the Jubilee Party, and Sifuna is the SG wa ODM. And that's when I called the media to clarify. You understand? And if you've been calling me for meetings, let's say you've been calling me for meetings and I'm supposed to step down, do you do a malicious event somewhere hidden with watu, and then if I'm the candidate, we're supposed to support your candidate mwenye unataka kusneak in? Si unaniongelesha vizuri. I don't see it on social media, and that's why I had to respond.
You've been in politics for some time, haven't you?
No, a few months. A few months. Yeah.
There's a word that explains politics perhaps better than any other word. It's treachery. Treachery. Yeah. Vigeugeu. What?
Kakasungura.
Yes. What a seasoned politician tells you, even from your own party, and what they told someone else, and what they agreed with somebody else, they will never tell you. They will tell you what they think you want to hear. I am not saying that's what the Jubilee Party official you spoke to did, but I'm simply telling you, in politics, you'll be in a meeting, you'll be told this. You turn your back. Something. In fact, you can actually die of shock when you get to discover what was actually going on. That's why I asked you, are you new to politics? Now, this one of ours of Kenya, where we now have parties coming together. Wow. There are levels of conversation that you're not privy to. What Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta discuss, very many people are not even privy to. What the SG of both parties know and understand, other people will not be privy to. What the so-called spokesperson, every layer has information that they have that others don't have. When it gets to you, what they tell you is the tail end of that particular communication.
So how does he authenticate?
Yeah. And then,
the information that he receives?
Yeah.
Kevin, what would be the reason? Think about it like you've said. I mean, there are certain things that you've led with. You're more popular on ground in terms of somebody who would be voted in, more than the incumbent.
Right?
Around, okay. In addition to that, you're not even, it's a coalition thing. You are a Jubilee member. The people who are speaking are from the ODM party. What reason would they have to make this announcement unbeknownst to you and even the party? Why would they then start to float this information? If nobody knew anything about it, with what authority then would they have to make such announcement and even pass it around?
And that's why I call it, that's the reason I call it propaganda. Because, hauwezi kwanza, alikuwa clear, Bahati amekubali, tumeongea na yeye na amechukua kazi, anapewa kazi. I was like, is that what you used to? Do you? I'm not just any other aspirant. Unaelewa? Let it be known. Kwanza, and I want to address this Sifuna and Shebesh. Si wale watu unaamkanga tu unajibia. I have a following. I inspire the youth. I am representing a generation. You just don't wake up na uanze kutumekia decisions. You understand? Believe me, I don't think Sifuna is the right senator for Nairobi. If he's a youth, fighting a youth with propaganda, for me, personally, I don't believe so. Because there is a way a leader should address issues. You understand? Uamuki tu because unataka kufanya vitu, una sneak in maneno ama unaanza kuleta propaganda. First, atafanya research. He wants to be the senator of Nairobi. He doesn't know why I'm crying for Mathare. Can I tell Sifuna something? I was not jobless. I repeat it again. I was earning well. Okay? I'm raising a family. You understand? Through music. Naweza kuwa mimi si tajiri, but ile kidogo niko nayo nilikuwa najisustain. So I was not looking for a job. In fact, on this mimi naweza sema Sifuna is the only one who is jobless. Unaelewa? So for me, ukitaka kunimikia such a decision, angalia huyu mtu amefanya hivi kwa nini? I am here to fight for the people of Mathare. Watu wa Mathare saa hii, kuna mahali Mathare saa hii. In this century, hakuna choo. In this century, there's a ward, and I know they're watching, in Mlango Kubwa na hospital ward. Watu hawana stima for more than a year. And then you tell me to just step down for someone that I know has not helped my people. This guy is a stranger in Mathare. I am born, bred, raised in Mathare. So when I fight for this, I'm not fighting for a coalition first. I'm fighting for the people of Mathare to get their rights. You understand?
But you know...
So wezi amuka tu unanipangia sasa, ati sasa nimeamua tutapeo kijana kazi bana.
But they did that before.
Na nikasema hapana, sitaki kazi bana. So...
Why were they doing that before? Why were you being denied the Jubilee ticket in the first place?
The first time I was given the ticket, let me make this clear. I was given the ticket by the Director of Elections, Honorable Kanini Kega, in the presence of the party SG.
Jeremiah Kioni.
Yes, and all these other officials. Okay? Immediately, let me give you the story. Immediately, I put it online. Mathare ile celebration ilikuwa. Hiyo usiku. Nakwambia in 3 hours hata sikuwa nimelala. Hata sikuwa nimefika kanisa kuenda kufanya Thanksgiving. I received a call that the incumbent amepiga akilia haki. Akiuliza alipigia nani? I think he called.
Alipiga simu.
Alipiga simu. Alipiga. Yes. Unajua sitaki kusema mambo mengi. Akilia sana. That mmepea huyu kijana aki sasa nimepoteza kiti. And at some point he even begged his colleagues that work at Jubilee when you're parliament, please do anything that you can muongeleshe Bahati. And that's why I was offered a lot of things, even money to step down. I was offered a lot sana. You understand? Kutoka pande yake. So let me tell you, hiyo kitu ilimsumbua sana. But before I was given the ticket, my party spoke to ODM. And they told the party so well that Bahati has endorsed Baba. I am the first artist, and I think the only urban artist that has come in public clearly endorsing Baba, even before I stated that I'm vying. The day I endorsed Baba, let me tell you guys one thing. That's why Sifuna cannot give me a job. I think I can employ him. Let me tell you, the first day I had to I stepped down from so many deals that I was endorsing. I was a brand ambassador for more than 10 brands. I had to step down because the moment I endorsed Baba, it did not start
sit well with
yes, you understand. So what I have lost as a brand the day I endorsed my favorite presidential candidate is more than what Sifuna has lost. So when he's speaking, he has no mandate to even mention my name because I have sacrificed. You understand?
I hear you, Bahati.
So the moment mimi nikishasema navai na nimeamua hii kitu nafanya hivi na ndasaidia watu wa Mathare na bado wakuja anza kuongea na feel jamaa hata ana huruma kwa youth.
Bahati,
I understand.
I hear you.
Yeah.
So you say you were initially given the certificate
Yes.
by the director of elections of your party, Jubilee.
Yeah.
And there was jubilation all over Mathare.
Yes.
And which was clear that then to everybody that this is the most popular candidate around.
Yes. Yes.
Why would the party withdraw that certificate?
The party did
Why
not
would-
withdraw, by the way.
What happened?
The party did not withdraw.
What happened?
The party wanted me because ukishanipea nimepita nomination.
So they wanted you to step down.
They wanted me to step down.
Why? Why
You
would
understand?
they ask a winning
Because
candidate to step down?
analia, and you know also my party has a relationship with ODM. You understand? So liona pengine huyu ni kijana mtoto wa mama, mtoto wa Mathare mupole ata step down ban. Lakini ile mimi nakumbuka nililia kwa sababu kwanza kitu ya kwanza mimi nilienda nikaambia vijana na akina mama mimi nimeambiwa hivi na nataka kabla nifanye pressure ya ku step down niwaambie. And let me tell you, mimi nakumbuka kwanza kuna vijana wa Huruma waliniambia Bahati kama utatusaliti usirudi Mathare. Hivi nilembo hivi kwa macho. Na hiyo ni kwetu. Ndio watu wetu hata wengine relatives wako. So mimi nikishambu hata nisiwairudi Mathare juu umeamua kutuachia stranger because hao watu wote ni wa huko Karen hata si wa Mathare. Unaelewa? So how do you deal with that? Do you sacrifice your people because there is an easier way out? No. And that's why mi kitu naona hii kelele ya ama jamaa wawili Sifuna na Shebesh mi na feel tu ni passing nini. For me it doesn't affect me.
You know, Bahati, there was the gubernatorial contest for Nairobi.
Yeah.
Included several candidates. Among them was the current MP for the Westlands area.
Sure.
Okay. Now, he had done exactly what you had done. He had done his maths, funded his posters, done his thing.
Yeah.
That's Mheshimiwa Tim Wanyonyi.
Sure.
Okay? Then comes the coalition.
Sure.
Then comes the politics that goes along with it. Tim Wanyonyi was sitting exactly in that same seat that you're sitting in. And we asked him the same questions we're now asking you. Ask him, Tim, why did you step down? There are people who to date feel he should not have stepped down. They feel he was the candidate they wanted because he's been in this city, he's been a councillor, he's been an MP 2 terms. He understands the city. And he said, you know, when it comes to party matters,
Yes.
there are other things to consider.
Sure.
Now, I get the impression from what you're saying
Yeah.
that the explanations that were given to you were not adequate. Hazikutosheleza. Ulisikia lakini bado ilikuwa. What would they have said to you for you to understand and say, okay, I understand what you're saying?
Let me answer you. First, Tim was called to the State House by Baba the Fifth and my president. On my case, I am seeing things online from people spreading propaganda without a formal and a
Respectful.
You have to respect the youth. You uamuki tu unapayuka.
Would it have made
You
a
understand?
difference, Kevin, if they called you
First,
and said, let's have a conversation?
you know,
because it seems that that's what you have an issue with. That
well,
they
that-
didn't call you and say, can we sit down and talk about this? But there's an announcement somewhere and you didn't know anything about it.
Ndio nilikuwa nasema unaona aliitwa State House na baba na the president and they explain, you know, these are two principles that we respect. Mimi mtu ana chest dump huko akipiga kelele. And let me tell you, the person chest dumping, he has lost election twice. 2013 in Kandui, Sifuna lost an election with an ODM ticket. In 2017 as
Nairobi.
Senator of Nairobi. wewe badala uniongeleshe niambie youth wakuvotie na watu wa Mathare, unataka kuwanyanyasa, kuwafosia mtu. Secondly, the person that Tim Wanyonyi was being asked to step down for, Honorable Igathe, very respected, a man we can trust. In my constituency, we have pending cases, corruption cases ya CDF that bado ziko kotini right now, that the current MP is still facing. Watu wanalia basari, akina mama wajasaidiwa, vijana, we are losing young men every day. Yani tukiweka hiyo news hapa kwa KTN hata tutamalizanga, because we are burying young men every week in Mathare. It's not that easy like in Tim's case. You understand? It's not that easy. If it was just my seat, mi hata sipendi kupigania vitu zingine, ningerudi studio bana. But for the people of Mathare, wasaidike na wapate hata si about mimi, but the sitting must go home. And let me tell you, I want to promise you this. If Baba the Fifth and the President calls me, na waniambie nikae chini, I understand. And because I respect them, they make that decision. Because I know according to the law, I'm the only one who can withdraw myself from that seat. I'm cleared by the IBC. But I will tell you for a fact, if Baba loves Mathare, let him tell the incumbent to step down. If not, the seat will go to UDA.
You had started another line.
If
they call you, if Raila and the president call you and they ask you to withdraw your candidature, will you?
I will explain to them if they call me. And I'm sure, because I have campaigned for the president in 2017. I did more stops than any other musician, 555 stops around the country for Uhuru
It's a yes
and
or no.
Ruto.
It's a yes or no
Okay.
question.
Let me tell you,
Will you
and I'm
step down
sure.
or not?
Let me tell you something. I am sure when I sit down with Baba, because Baba ajui pengine hizo shida ziko Mathare sahi, unaelewa, and I sit down with the president and they understand this, because I'll see they are leaders that we respect. I'm sure with the love they have for the youth, that's why the president okayed me to be given the certificate leader. He knows. If he okayed me to proceed after the last time, I know he knows what Mathare wants. And that's why si ameongea hapo kwa TV. You understand?
Others.
It's others.
Let's take a break.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.
C.T. Muga Ndu Oko, Eric Latif. We have a guest in the studio this hour. His name is Kevin Kioko, a.k.a. Bahati. He wants to be the next MP for Mathare constituency. The conversations are on SpiceFM, online, and on KTN Home, in addition to KTN News. Bahati,
Yes.
you're telling us the kind of tribulations that you're going through. So it just takes us back into, you've been explaining why you went into politics in the first place.
Sure.
Is so that you can go and address the issues that the people of Mathare have been facing. Issues that they feel that previous leaders have let them down on. So what is this that you will do, if you went to parliament?
The first thing, I am passionately, I want to passionately and sana, I want to create employment for the youth, because this is the biggest problem that we are facing right now in Mathare. Because the deaths are just so many, such that ujuzi explain aje. You get. Until today we still have wards in Mathare zenye pia hazina public schools. Until today, it's a ward nini.
Name one.
Like Ngei.
So an entire Ngei ward
has no public school. Haina shule ya serikali. Ward mzima.
Niko na watu ngapi?
Ngei is the leading in terms of voters in Mathare. 24,000 voters. Okay? So inamaanisha kama ni registered voters 24,000. Mathare inabeba watu wengi sana. Wengi sana. The third thing, we have small issues that are being ignored, but really affecting my people. They're my people because si feel mi ni mgeni ati nimetoka huko nikakuja. Ni watu ndio, when I lost my parents, these are the people that took care of me. You understand? Kama kuna shida ya maji, kuna saa unaweza pata Mathare, mali kama Huruma, hata usiingie mali Mlango ama Geto kama zile za Kosovo. Unapata mali kama Huruma, watu wanakaa almost a week without water. You know, this is a serious crisis. You understand? Something else that I mentioned, I think ingekuja tu number 1, is ward, kama hospital ward. And I'm really, this is one of the things that I'm really pushing. And from next week, I want to even beg my president and my CS Energy, you know, to consider for Vania hospital ward in Mathare wamekaa bila stima. Yani hii kuona TV huko ni ndoto kwa watu wengi.
Do they have an MCA?
They have an MCA. Sawa. We have an MP. Tuko na lakini watu wanaingianga kwa nyumba 6 PM ni kama kuna curfew. Hospital ward, because after 7 crime rate inapanda juu ya giza. Stima ilikatangwa over 1 year ago. Hao watu walisha hata landlords nyumba walisha watu wanahama.
So there's no power, there's no street lighting, and there's no power
There's
in
no
people's
power
homes.
Connection. Nadhani unapatanga watu, najua I understand also KPLC in this. Unapata pengine kulipatikana na case ya illegal connection. But you understand, hii ni ghetto. When such things happen and you're their leader, ni unawatetea. Unaenda unasema hata wakuja wafunzwe how to, you know, to manage such things, to avoid hizo fires and all that, you get. But for Vania, yani wana feel these people, mimi kumkapo nilienda campaign juzi, watu wananiambia we were not going to vote. We didn't see anything, the reason of going to vote. And let me tell you, me I'm campaigning for Baba. I need votes za Baba zikuje kwa wingi. Hatuwezi lose anyone kukosa kwenda kuvote juu akuja kuwa na stima mahali. But you see, as much as I'm campaigning for Baba, even if I have Baba as president, now we have a bad representation pale chini, the people of Mathare hawatasaidika.
Why do you think these issues have not been sorted out? Because we're talking about, let's just talk about this last 5 years.
Why
do you think these issues have not been sorted out? And then part 2 of that question is, what then would make it different for you to now sort out?
Why I think these issues, and there's most of them are very basic and they seem like small issues but really affecting. It's because of ignorance. Sababu huyu mtu hajalelewa pale, hajazaliwa pale. So ni hard sana mama fulani akikuambia aki, mimi nimekosa 20 bob ya kununua sukuma, au uelewi amekosa 20 bob aje. You understand? And that's the biggest issue we have right now in Mathare. And I believe I will do it differently because I know that I understand their problems more than any other candidate that is vying. Not even the sitting. Sitting kwanza tunataka aende nyumbani. Unaelewa? But it's about getting someone, mule mtu anajua enye hii shida imekuwa hapa for long. How can we sort it out?
A member of parliament then is involved in representation of the people, which clearly you've outlined. Also then involved in oversight and then legislation, essentially making the laws upon which the country will run. Now, some of the legislation that is made essentially is what turns all of these things over. If the right legislation is made, then we probably see ourselves getting out of some of these issues. That is, even if you've never been up, you know, in this position before, do you have then the wherewithal to actually be able to get it done? There's the passionate feeling.
Sure.
We can see that. Is there beyond the passionate feeling, the wherewithal to hold those three issues of oversight, legislation, and representation properly?
Yes, because, you know, what really matters is the drive and the desire to help your people. That is very important, because hata ukiwa na hiyo capability and you don't have the drive and the desire, it doesn't work. As an artist, pengine pia nisikuwe napiga kelele, but as an artist, since nikuwe msanii, personally, let me tell you what I've done for Mathare. My firstborn, Morgan, is adopted from Mathare slums. I took Morgan when I was 19 years old, when I made my first hit, Mama. So, as an artist, with ile tu influence kidogo nimekuwa nao as an artist, I've been able to go to NGOs, to go to corporates, you know, and nimekuwa natetea watu wangu. Like during the COVID season, I fed over 10,000 families. And at times nilikuwa naingia Safaricom nawaambia, please, can your foundation do something? Standard Media hapa, ulizeni kina CEO Charles, nimewasumbua mara ngapi? Ni media, lakini nawaambia, please help me feed my people. You understand? Because ilifika mahali hata during the COVID season, I had to tell Naivas that don't pay me, just give me food. I will influence for free. You understand? Because I had, and hata sikuwa nataka kuvai. But you see the way things ziko, kuna doors zingine una knock, and they're like, as who? You get? You don't have the power. You're not the MCA. You're not the MP. You
don't have the power of an office.
Thank you.
So you have to use the power
looking
of your office
to help
to be
me.
able to knock on doors,
Thank you.
to open and to raise the issue, the plight of the people of Mathare.
Yeah.
As an MP inside Parliament, what would you do? Let's look up at some of the issues that you've raised. Employment, jobs for the youth, water, public schools. Public schools, what will you do to bring public schools to this particular ward that doesn't have a single public school?
First thing, in Mathare, there's a lot of public but grab land that can be used to build schools.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
Just briefly, we have a huge budget, over 130 million yearly, for the CDF. And this money, kujenga shule ghetto na uequip vizuri, it's enough if you're willing. Okay? On the other side of the, in terms of creating employment, apart from kujengea watu, najua hizo kawash, hizo nimekuwa najaribu hata as an artist, kuleta tanks, nini. Of course, wezi letea watu tanks za kawash na wana magari. Unajua hizo ndio saa zingine na wana pia maji. You understand? But one of my biggest project that I want to push for, once I'm elected as Member of Parliament Mathare, I want to, and that's one of the things that I'm drawing in my manifesto, I want to work on Mathare Market. And that will be in combined in conjunction with the national government and the county government. We have land yenye iko hapo that when we do something like Mathare Market, we can employ more than 50,000 youths in Mathare. Angalia, ukienda Starehe kuna Muthurwa. Ukienda hii side ingine ya Embakasi kuna Kariobangi Market. Ukienda, tumezungukwa na markets. You understand? Our people at times wanahave kuenda hadi Gikomba, wengine wanahave kuenda Isili kila siku. In fact, kama kuna watu wanafanya kazi za mkono wengi Isili, ni watu wa Mathare. You understand? Wengine tunahave kuenda hadi Kiambu just to make sure that we can transact.
You access
and
markets.
Yes, you understand. And this is something that can employ a lot of.
So this land that you say exists, and you say has been grabbed.
Yeah.
Do you know how big it is? Do you know the history behind the grabbers?
Unajua, kwanza kuna siku nilijaribu hiyo nikiwa msanii, nikisema vijana wapewe nini yao viucha zao za kuchezea, na nikaambiwa kama nataka kuishi sana nikae mbali na hiyo. But you see, when nakwambia ukweli, when wewe ni hauna any office, hata ukuwe na designer gani ku represent your people, no one will hear you. You understand? You become a beggar in most scenarios. You understand? And my desire is to see change in Mathare. If we were able, if Soweto once, which was one of the biggest slums in Africa, I've been traveling, I've been representing Kenya in South Africa, African Day concerts, MTV and all that. And I see all these things, and I desire to see the same for my home area, which is Mathare. Ukiangalia hata Kibra imesaidika sana. There's a lot of transition. There's a lot of projects to empower young people. But I feel like Mathare has been forgotten. And that's why I'm begging Baba the Fifth. This is your bedroom. Do not let people in your bedroom cry. Come to their rescue.
Something that I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
A notable occurrence with politicians when they're campaigning and when they actually get elected is that they change.
Kweli. Watu wanauliza kama nitanyoa.
Well, the hairdo is fine. It's fine. That's not even an issue. The issue is there's a place towards Ngong that you mentioned earlier on where your current MP apparently resides. Will you also end up residing in that particular place?
Where do you currently live?
Can I tell you guys something?
Tell us something.
I can afford to live in Karen. I can comfortably.
Where do you live
afford.
currently?
I live along Thika Road. It's just near Mathare. But Mathare kwangu pia niko na nyumba ndani ya Mathare, because pia kuna family nasaidia Mathare, have kids wengine nasaidia hapo. So it's like unakaa Thika Road unaishi tu Mathare bado. You understand? But my change, if it's change, ningekuwa nisha change. You get? If it's change, ningekuwa nisha change. I've won awards, I've made hits. So it's I don't think hata ile mshahara na pata MP ni more than
Kevin, politics is not about just the money. Power.
It's the power.
Oh yes.
Those things that you are saying, when you're not an MP, in many cases you are a small person.
Yes.
Now you'll be the big person.
And a seriously big person.
Yes.
You'll meet other presidents, you'll meet monarchs, you'll travel the globe. The exposure.
You'll be called Mheshimiwa.
For real. And right now, slim fit. In a year's time, once you're Mheshimiwa, you'll be sporting a pot belly.
Ndaongeza.
Now, that is the physical change. EOC shida. The complaints is that the politician who appealed to the people and who people believed in stops being the person they elected. He becomes like the other people and just thinks of lining his own pocket. Now, how will you ensure that you don't become one of those politicians?
It's only God who can help. It's only God who can help. And I'm a very prayerful person. Very. Because not only power, even fame is as lethal as power. You get. I am one brand that I can confidently say. First, in my house, I think we endorse more brands than any other brand in the country, as the Bahatis. That is Bahati and Diana, you get. And that means almost in every household, out of 10, at least 8 know the Bahatis, at least, according to the way we have pushed our brand. And I have always tried so hard to stay humble, because I believe being humble, or rather reminding where I come from, inanikumbushanga, it's not like you deserve. So I always try and pray to God anikumbushe nikuwe humble
To remain
every day.
humble.
You know, and it's hard to promise that you'll not change, but you can always pray to God
That you don't.
that you don't.
Speak to the people of Mathare, speak to the people of Nairobi, especially even those who are reading on social media and reading in the news and hearing that Bahati is being persuaded to step down.
And harassed.
You said it.
So
In a minute.
mi enyewe acha nisidanganye, mi nimejionea mambo sana kwa hii elections. It has been a tough one, and I believe I am fight. It is worth. It is worth the harassment. It is worth the tears that I've always cried. Nimejiahidi sitalia tena, hata ikikuwa ngumu aje sitalia tena, because my biggest encouragement is that I know God akona mimi, and my biggest encouragement is that I understand the ground and what the people of Mathare are saying than the noisemakers, you know. And with that, I'm not shaken. And one thing nitambia watu wa Mathare na watu wa mtaani, kwanza ni asante sana, wamekuwa wakinipigia sana simu za encouragements, na I want to assure you that I'm on the ballot. Bahati has not stepped down. Bahati will be on the ballot, and on the 9th of August, you'll have the right to choose your leader of choice.
Bahati, thank you very much for joining us. Kevin Kioko, aka Bahati, is aspiring to be the next member of parliament for Mathare. He's here. He's saying, zoning or not, Bahati remains on the ballot.